Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Realtor Nation podcast, episode 5. My name is Ian Hoover, and I am the host of this podcast, and I'm very excited to bring to you, the Realtor Nation, a show to help you improve your business. My goal is to bring you some of the most successful agents in the business and ask them the questions that everybody wants to know. 87% of real estate professionals fail. It's time to change that. The agents I'm interviewing have not only succeeded, but they're truly some of the most talented agents in our business. Also, Realtor Nation, we're looking for more talented agents and brokers to interview for our show. If you are interested, please email me your resume to ian@ianhoover.com. Today I'm with Pittsburgh's own Brian Teyssier. Before I get started, I'd like to talk about his impressive resume. He's been licensed since 2006. Last year he did over $23 million in volume in Pittsburgh, where the average home sale is $166,000. His average sale price was $276,000. Wow. So without further ado, let me bring to you Brian Teyssier. You're welcome, Brian.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
So basically, I want to start with, how did you get into the real estate business?
Very good question. So I actually got into the real estate business by flipping houses. Shocker.
Shocker.
Right. So I used to actually flip houses with my own two hands. So I know how to do pretty much everything. And this was back, so if I've been a licensed realtor for 10 years-ish, I probably did a couple years before that. So then I realized, as I was, in the 20-degree weather with no furnace around someone else's dirty toilet, this kind of sucks. So as the margins got smaller over the years, because flipping became more commercialized and more people came on board, I eventually got my license so I could pay myself to, buy the property and then save myself money on selling it. As the market got a little better, the margins got smaller. It was just a natural transition to give up flipping and, put a cover over all my tools in my parents' garage and get yelled at every time I go over for Thanksgiving about the tools and, pull out the shirt and tie.
Okay. You don't do any flipping anymore?
Every once in a while I'll peek back into it, but I'm so spoiled because my margins were so high when I first started. I'm talking like $80,000 profit.
Oh, wow.
That now people are like happy to have $10,000.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's 2 price reductions and you're done. So no, and I don't honestly. Business has gotten so big that I have to have a team to support me as a realtor. I just wouldn't have any time. I'm actually getting ready to renovate my condo, and I know how to do everything, but I have to pay somebody to do it because it's just a time issue.
Yeah, you're so busy.
You just don't have the time to do it.
Understandable.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite thing about the real estate business?
So the natural high you get from finding a buyer, that one house, that perfect house. Maybe you search 50 homes and you get to know them after a while, and then you open the door and you walk in, you kind of get like a feeling that comes through your body and that's the house for them, and you see the excitement on them. It's like, I helped them make the largest purchase of most people's lives. I mean, I was a part of that. That's a gift if you ask me. And
absolutely.
Same with the sellers. They couldn't sell with another agent, or they tried for sale by owner, or whatever it is, and then you came in and you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this, you should be priced here, and you leave, and then you come back and the wallpaper's gone, the walls are painted gray, the blue countertop's gone, it's got high definition laminate or something like that. You put it back on the market for the same price they had it listed at. Multiple offers, you look like a genius, but meanwhile it's just the training you've had. It's just a natural high you get from that. That's my favorite part.
Absolutely. I really agree with your answer. That's to me, it's just a thrill to help people.
It is a thrill. It's a gift to be. I've worked in jobs where I worked 8 to 5 making copies for Xerox for about 10 years, and I was helping nobody. Nobody. I mean, maybe somebody benefited, but to me, I was helping nobody. So to be able to be in a position, a career, a job where you can actually help people, there's nothing better than that.
Well, that's great. What's your least favorite thing about the business?
That's a great question. Some agents, some buyers, some sellers, some home inspectors. There's no one thing I'm going to say that, man, I wake up and I'm like, boy, this sucks, I have to do this today. It's just certain small facets of the year-long grind that is going to get you. You're going to run into an agent that, just wants to be complicated, has an ego. You're going to run into a seller that thinks, the house they flipped is so freaking great that they can price it anywhere they want, and, you're just a person that puts the paperwork out. You're going to run into a home inspector that kills a deal. I mean, there's just so many... There's a couple of instances here and there, I would say.
I totally agree. You never know what's going to hit you either. You're not expecting it.
And that's one of the things. Conversely, it's a love-hate relationship. There's some things you hate, but every day you get up, it's something different. Like, I open my eyes, I'm thinking, like, is it going to be a day of catastrophe or a day of great success? You know, sometimes it's both.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Brian. Well, one thing I'm really interested to find out is, what does a typical day in your life look like from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed? I know you put in a lot of hours.
Not true.
Not true. Okay.
No, so I used to put in a lot of hours until I hired a team. And, you know, there's a lot of questions out there. How do you know when to hire a team? How do you know when to hire a team? Well, so when you're waking up at 4 a.m. because you can't sleep because you have a tough day, you had a tough day before, you had a tough day coming up, or you forgot to do something, and then you're up until 11 p.m. pushing paper around, that's when it's time to get a team. So I got a team. I ventured into the team aspect about 2 years ago. Had a team pretty much full-time, 3 people last year. So in the spring, we put in a lot of hours, but it really tailed off, and now I have no team. It's just me and a professional full-time assistant. She doesn't have a license at all, so she won't be doing lockboxes. She stays home and does all my paperwork. So it's going to start getting busy here soon, but I actually have a lot of time because of the support systems of that, and I've learned to automate my business a ton. So a day, wake up, I always check emails. I don't care if they say not to check emails. I mean, I read, you know, Success, Darren Hardy, and all these people, don't check your email right away. No, you have to check your email right away. There could be something there. So I check my email, Facebook, LinkedIn, all my social media platforms. I get rid of all those little red things that are flashing on your icons on your
Alerts,
phone.
yep.
Right. Coffee's brewing at the same time, and then I put out fires first, and then I'll answer other soft emails. So I answer like the 911 emails right away, then the soft emails while the news is on, and then go about my day. My assistant will put my appointments right in my calendar, so I don't even do that anymore. She answers all the buyers and sellers, schedules them, puts them on my calendar. I wake up and see where I have to go. And I always squeeze CrossFit in there somewhere, or running.
I was going to ask you, do you work out at all during the day?
Once a day, 5 to 7 days.
Wow. Good
I
for
don't
you.
have kids, but I'm just a firm believer of, you know, if you don't have the let's put it in house terms, if you don't have the foundation built up strong, which is your health, your heart, and your body, then nothing else matters above it. So you can pump in all the money, all the education in your brain and all that, but you die at 34 or 44, it did you no good. So you've got to take some time, an hour a day, half hour to put some work into your body.
So true, so true. I actually I play basketball a couple times a week and play football. I try and play football at least once a week and
Awesome.
go to the gym every once in a while.
Yeah, you can't give that stuff up, man. It's got to be part of your routine, and if buyers and sellers don't understand that, go find another agent.
I love that. Why do you think 87% of agents fail by the 5-year mark?
Maybe we can call it the millennial effect.
Okay.
So I'm running into a lot of agents that seem to see the successes of other agents that have grinded it out, been in it for decades or years, and they just want to get their license and think Lamborghinis grow on trees. Well, that's not the case. You've got to grind out hard. You've got to take those $60,000 leads. You've got to represent them in a foreclosure transaction where you're doing shitloads of paperwork. And then you've got to do open houses every Sunday. A lot of people don't want to do that. You know, they see a lot of, not even top realtors, you know, middle of the road realtors making tons of money, and they think that, you know, they can just get a license, come on board, and make all kind of money. And I think after they realize how time consuming it is and how the grind is, how, you know, you're in the service industry, buyers and sellers are not really nice to you sometimes, and if you don't have thick skin, you know, you work your way right out of the business that quick.
I totally agree, and I'm a millennial myself, and I just shake my head sometimes with with how their work ethic. And,
right.
And it's not all just millennials. There's some older people that get into business too, and they just think it's going to be easy. Things like HCTV, you know, they sell, I show 3 houses and sell $1 million house. It doesn't always work out.
100%. Not only pigeonhole millennials, it is every age range, and I think the same is with flippers too. They'll buy the house and they'll think that, you know, with all the flipping shows, that they're just going to wave their magic wand and, you know, there's a big fat check. And, you know, they're going to have an open house with 100 people through and there's 4 offers. No.
Yeah.
Don't fall for TV. It's not like that.
Totally agree. If you were to start over today, you were a brand new agent getting licensed in 2018, what changes would you make compared to what you did before?
Right, so I think the mistakes I made early on was I looked at it as a very competitive, I'm a very competitive person, so I look at it as competitive, and I even got combative. I was probably one of those agents I referenced earlier in the podcast that had an ego or an attitude where I would kick back to the other agent thinking it was a competition, and, you know, I had to win this negotiation. So I would try to be nicer to my colleagues, because you are going to need them as friends later on down the line when you represent a buyer that has to have that house, and they're the listing agent, and there's 3 offers. You know, you can say ethically they're supposed to take the highest and best, but we all know they could navigate and massage things to go the direction not of you if you piss them off.
Absolutely. Yeah, if they think it's going to be a hard transaction with you, they're going to go with an agent that they know is going to be a smooth transaction.
Totally. So I would be nicer to my colleagues.
So you and your team sold 84 properties last year, and I like that you said that you don't work as much as you used to. How many hours a week did you put in to sell 84 properties?
We actually sold, as a team, we sold 105.
Oh,
I
okay.
personally sold 85.
Wow. Okay.
I like to keep them separate.
Okay.
Right.
That's pretty great.
Yeah. So how many hours a week? That's hard to say. I have, like I said, I've created a pretty much skeleton business, I call it. So mine's not very personal. It's not a very personal touch. We're not going to meet with a buyer. I'm not going to meet with a buyer at my office and have them a cup of coffee and kiss their baby and all that stuff. No, I send them out a survey that says, "Tell me what you're looking for." They get the answers back. My assistant builds the search. We get them pre-approved. I don't have any communication with them until the first house. We have it set up. I've been trained through my CRS designation, and I've been coached by Tom Ferry. I've been trained to run it like a business of a lawyer, a dentist, a surgeon, something like that. You are, as a licensed realtor, that important. Your dentist isn't gonna meet you up front just to say hi and kumbaya and all that. Your surgeon, if you're having a shoulder surgery, you're going to see them on the table. They're out doing big time important things. So that's why we have it set up now where we have assistants and systems, and we use Google Drive and technology to filter all these people down. And then whenever it comes time for the meat and potatoes, I'm the chef cooking the meal, basically.
Wow.
So I don't know how many hours. Yeah, I don't know how many hours I do, but a lot of it's automated.
So you probably put in more hours back before you automated, I'm assuming.
Totally. Yeah.
Okay. So we know you don't do it alone, or you've had a team periodically throughout. How was your team structured when you had a team?
Right. So my team was structured where I paid them. In 2016, I had two full licensed agents that did all of my admin stuff, and I paid them each a flat fee. And I expected 40 hours a week. We didn't, punch a clock. We never saw each other. I wanted to make it as appealing as possible, so everybody would work remotely. I wouldn't leave my condo. They don't leave their house. And then I pay them X amount of dollars for every transaction I give them the lead for. So everything went under me. And anytime I give them a lead and say, "Here, it's your lead," and basically leave me alone. I'm here to answer questions, but I'm not going to hold your hand through it. That was X amount of dollars. They would get paid a flat fee. It wasn't a percentage. And the reason I did that is because I know they're going to work a lot of small leads. The percentage is going to be small in general, so then they kick me in, another big percentage off of that. I didn't think it was fair. So there were a lot of transactions I was upside down on. So the fee that I paid them was less than the money they earned, but that was okay. It kind of made up as time went along, and we looked at it at the end of the year, and I came out ahead as the team lead should. But the purpose of my team was strictly just to train, to mentor these two people, and then after the calendar year was up, they fly on their own, and that's where we were. December 31st, they went off as individuals, still with our brokerage and all that. Mm-hmm. And I'm not a broker at all. I'm taking no broker class. I'm just an agent.
Gotcha. Well, that's very interesting. So do you plan on bringing more people onto your team as new agents come into your brokerage?
So I'm always trying to stay ahead of the curve. What I'm trying to do now is just go to individual this year in 2018, have a full-time assistant that's not a realtor, so this person isn't running around with lockboxes on and all that stuff. And I'm leaning on my office heavily. So agents that are just starting out, I'm going to give them a pre-cleaned lead. So it's already scrubbed. It's already talked to and et cetera, a hot lead. And I'm going to give it to them for 35% referral. Okay. So if I'm too busy or it's just too small, doesn't make business sense, it'll go to them.
Wow. Okay. So you're going to utilize other agents in your office, but not specifically underneath you as a team.
I'm going to lean on them hard.
Okay. That's pretty interesting. I haven't
different
heard that
model
before. It's a very different model. Now, did you find that or did you create that?
Created it.
Awesome.
I created the other one too.
Okay. It sounds like you really know what you're doing with these systems.
Just trying things out, man. If something doesn't work, you try something else out.
I like it. So the saying that I hear all the time is you have to spend money to make money. What's the best free way that you generate business?
When I started my career was in 2007. The market was in the heavy collapse. So I figured if I could find a way to make it then, I'd be booming by the time the market turned around. So what I did was Zillow reviews. I go and speak on this. I just went to the CRS convention. I was invited, presented an hour long to the top realtors in the world on how to get Zillow reviews. They're free. Every time you get a Zillow review, you can take that and use that as marketing leverage. We put that in buyer booklets, pre-listing booklets, social media posts, and then that's validation, verification that you are who you say you are, that you represent a first-time home buyer.